everybody. Welcome. I'm Howie Howard from Mr. Furious Records, joined once again by Cory Kibler. What's up, Cory?
Hey, glad to be here.
It's different every time with you. It's different every time. And returning guest from last week, Brendan McGinn from Dirty Talker. What's going on, Brendan?
Hi, guys. Just hanging out.
Just hanging out. We're having a good time. We're listening to the new self-titled record. In a minute, I'll have some music from it. Sorry, go ahead.
New jams is all I was going to say.
New jams. New Dirty Talker jams. First in 10 years. Sounds long when I say it like that.
Yep.
But I counted, and it's true. So on dirtytalker.bandcamp.com, here's my story. The band photo is incredible. Just like one of my favorite band photos. Everyone's crushing it. And it just said so much to me. Listeners, please go and look at the photo. I mean, Justin's like running.
Yeah. Yes.
Marina looks cool. You are in your shorts.
I've got my shorts on and like black socks or something.
Yeah, and mustache and
Adam's good.
But Adam looks amazing. He's the pro of this crew. Seriously.
Yep. Truly. Yeah. Justin has a master's in like visual arts or something like that from Pratt College in Brooklyn. So he took that photo, and that's in front of our practice space. And I believe he used an extra flash. And
it does seem lit a bit, yeah.
Exactly. And I think that was also like not the photo that we took, but he was stepping back too excited to like set up for another photo, and we got like an extra somewhat unplanned one or something.
That makes perfect sense. He's running back to his camera rig to see what's going on here. Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
Is he from Nebraska or is he from New York or someplace else?
No. Yeah, Adam and we're Lincoln kids, all of us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good, because that won't ruin my thesis then.
No. Good.
Or not thesis, but so this photo, I love it so much. It actually sent me down this spiral of thinking about like, because it's so Lincoln to me. Like the photo just says everything about the Lincoln scene that I grew up with, and Her Flyaway Manor and Sideshow and Caulfield, and I just got to think about like, why is that, and what is it that kind of like, where did this come from? And I listened to a cool podcast with your brother Bernie, who didn't really answer that question. It was a fun podcast to listen to. But there's obviously like this DC thing, right? And like DC is important to me. Cory knows this. In like our freshman year of college, I basically and consciously appointed myself the Ian Mackay of our little club. And just I'm going to be the documentarian, and I love that, and that's who I'm going to be. But I even got to thinking about like, well, where did that come from? Bernie had talked a little bit about hardcore and skateboarding, and so I was going through Wikipedia and listening to stuff. And what I've come around to like really realizing, besides Ian and Discord and Fugazi, like even a half step and one step back from that is really Rites of Spring. Like I was listening to Rites of Spring and just hear a ton of that in the Lincoln stuff that I'm talking about. And then the step back from that is really, I guess, Bad Brains. And if Bad Brains doesn't shift from prog to punk, I mean, that's the headwater, the way I'm hearing it this particular week anyway. What do you think of all that?
It's huge. Yeah, I think I think everything that you said is like foundational for me and my upbringing. And again, being 10 years younger than my brother, so he's putting out records, vinyl, getting CDs printed as soon as CDs were existing, silk screening shirts. So the DC thing is very big and strong. Absolutely correct about Rites of Spring. Bad Brains for sure. I know there's stories of HR coming through Lincoln and staying at a house at 16th and Washington called the White House that like other legendaries, Jello Biafra and folks all stayed at. But the thread, the thing that I guess I'd raise with is skateboarding.
Mm-hmm.
And skate punk culture, individuality. It wasn't the most accepting group, I mean, by today's standards, but it was like, if you were weird, you know, you're probably going to drift into that group. And so with that came California influences and like black. So there in Lincoln in the early 80s, the Brickyard was a music venue, probably like 17th and Holdridge, and like JFA, Black Flag, just an endless list of insane bands, punk bands came through, and we're a part of the circuit. But definitely Minor Threat, the Discord stuff was big, and my brother was a pen pal of Ian's. Said, "Hey, I love Minor Threat." Ian writes back, "Hey, I'm doing this new band. Here's a demo." Like my brother got a cassette of the fucking Fugazi demo back then, and and got to help like Chris Palmquist, who was in a few bands. Sound of Rails was one of them. Eamon was one that played with Fugazi at Ag Hall, but Chris Palmquist helped set up shows, and Sideshow played a bunch of those. The very first Sideshow record that's like a self-titled, it's got a wood carving, 3 faces is kind of what it's referred to as, like super duper Rites of Spring, of this like, what's the next step after you learn your Ramones songs and you like can figure out, you figure out an octave chord now, and I don't know, having all sorts of big feelings. But it's interesting. Lincoln has a sound, and like Mercy Rule and Sideshow shared this sound, and it's different than Kansas City, and Omaha had an edge to it. But yeah, I don't know. You're absolutely right. But so again, creating the archive element that you spoke of, Howie, is also huge. Like I have totes and stuff, of either newspaper clippings that are dumb, that are just getting moldy, some reels of tape. Like, what the fuck am I going to save the 2-inch from? I got 2-inch tape from the Rotation of Thoughts and Themes record. What? I don't know, but like, you have to keep this stuff and these posters and these artifacts of what we've done. I don't know, but yeah, it's definitely it's a strong thread.
And thread's a perfect word. I'm not trying to be exhaustive by any means. Obviously, there's a coming together of like all kinds of influences, but I was trying to take that thread of like the hardcore punk and like visually and outside of the music or layered on top of the music, that kind of the almost anti-image thing, and just take that back as far as I could find in a week.
Yeah.
And I got farther than I had before.
Sure.
And I thought it was kind of interesting, like to arrive at Bad Brains was kind of a revelation, because there is such a beginning moment for that band that's very linked to a time and a place and a person, and you can so easily imagine it just not happening, and just this whole stream of punk that followed not happening or happening in a completely different way.
Yeah.
So that was kind of fun to realize.
Possibly less free to let out all the emotions in a way, like for the explosion. So the band that predated Sideshow was just skate thrash, just blasting, and Bad Brains for sure, like, and other thrash bands, and just with that speed and intensity. And the other big thing that wasn't exclusive to DC, but known for it, but just again DIY, like to release your own record, to take 3 years and mix your own record and make it for you. Like I think what I learned from what I either saw from my brother or what we learned, right, and what he learned from other folks, was that you do it to satisfy yourself primarily, and whether that be the inside jokes for you and your friends that become the songs or whatever, but also figuring out how to record on a 4-track cassette recorder or an M-Box Pro Tools setup, or now we can like take basic tracks from a studio and record vocals and mix it, but we're doing it ourselves and get it up on Bandcamp and press our own CDs. So it's still very much there. I love it.
Yeah, and to make it personal, like I picked it up just from going to shows, I guess. Like, I mean, certainly no one ever sat me down and said, this is how we do this, but like I picked it up just from being around, not really being in, but being around and being audience, and then brought it 30 miles down the road to my little town and like did it in microcosm.
Yeah, you can see that it's an option. Like,
yes.
Like I remember hearing that from Tim Scahill and other folks. Like starting a band like wasn't necessarily a thing that they thought they could do or whatever. And it's like, no, wait, like we just went to the Culture Center and saw these guys play, and like you can just fucking like start a band. Oh my God, like how cool is that? So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for going with me down that rabbit hole. Let's listen to some of your band.
Cool.
And your band's new music.
This is our slow song.
Slow jams. Get the disco ball going. Grab your partner. Here's a slow jam from Dirty Talker.
It's a waltzy
Grit
disco.
and Grace on Dat Fury Radio.
Adam on the guitar.
I love it.
It's pretty amazing that you can put that sense of humor into that hammer-on or whatever guitar figure. But it's there.
I love that kind of thing. I love it. I love it when something sounds badass and funny at the same time. It's the coolest. It's great. I love that.
You had a whole band based on that premise.
Yeah, totally. Like I hear a lot of that I was thinking about when you're talking about what defines Lincoln music. I think that's there's a lot of that. It's like funny, but with a straight face.
You gotta do pick scrapes and stuff.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
I think like in the, the 90s and early 2000s, if you were in bands, there was a certain like anti-corporate or anti-sellout kind of aesthetic or something like that. But I think like Lincoln, I was trying to think about what defines Lincoln music, and I think like the self-sufficiency of it, but then also an active dislike maybe of making something too slick, or I don't know, because you think about all the bands that inspired people and other bands in Lincoln, they all share that like we can do anything, we can go on tour, We can play shows wherever we want. We can make records, and nobody cares if anybody gets a deal or whatever.
Absolutely. I had something for you, Cory, but it's gone now.
Okay, if you think of it, please do say it. I think that's like Howie, you were talking about being the self-appointed documentarian of like music scene stuff when we started playing in college, but I remember, I mean, that's what Mr. Furious was born out of. You were just like, I don't need to sit around and wait for some label to come and approve my music to share it. I'm just gonna do it, which is pretty cool. Like it's a thing that, like Brendan was saying earlier, sometimes you don't realize. Like you don't realize, hey, I can just start a band. Nobody needs to come along and tell me it's okay or that I'm good enough or whatever. You can just do it, and it's cool that you've been doing it for 21 years.
Yeah, I mean, it was sort of half that, but half. I loved your music so much, and Scott's, and everybody else who was around. I needed to capture it and record it for my own listening, right? So that I would have it 20 years later.
Yeah.
to listen to fully, a nice version of Fully Okay, or. I mean, Brendan mentioned Ian Aiello in the previous episode. Kind of randomly, I was listening to the Blame the Game EP today.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And thinking about that. And it's, at the time, it's like, do we need to, it is fun to mess around, but do we need to do it? And now it feels so valuable to have, I'm so happy that we have that stuff.
Yeah, I've got dozens and dozens of gigabytes of video, practice video, like practice space, set up your phone even, and they're little bits, artifacts of our process, but I don't know, it's really special time to have with your friends and creative time and zen when the songs are fully in your brain and like I don't even know, I'm not even thinking, while playing these songs. I guess Cory, one of the things like with the Hammer On, like there's something about like anti-jock, anti-corporate rock, anti-this, and again, dry satire, sarcasm of what is rock and roll music. And then it's like, we're fucking nerds, and this is our fucking time to be on top.
Yeah.
And so, goddamn right, I'm going to do a Hammer On here.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
And again, that dirt. What's important is, like, back on the Star City Scene web board, I remember saying like, I don't trust a musician if they don't sweat. And so it's like, you're like, it could be a blues dude or whatever, but like still like if, and I've distilled it now to, if you look bored, I'm bored.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know. Yeah. Chew on that one.
I love what you said about like writing and playing or recording like a cool, badass, muscular song is like probably the only time someone like me, who's a very like sensitive, like, you know what I mean? Like goofy fellow.
I do. People pleaser.
And,
and now I get to fucking yell at my boss.
Yeah, like I get to do something cool. Like it's amazing for me to listen to like the demos record and be like, wow, I sound tough like in this. Let the ledger show, just in case anybody ever wondered if I ever sounded tough before. This is cool. And it's cool to have a a tough sounding band filled with very kind, conscientious people.
Yep. Yeah.
When planets align, basic
So this is the revisit of a song
Yes.
from our second record.
it's the moon is what matters. It's the moon is what matters.
And is Planets kind of the working title or the set list title, the way that Cake was for the previous one?
I believe it's always just been Planets.
Okay.
Feel like that, but there are similes.
Justin, I think that's about some sort of like AI computer love type of situation. But the first lyrics is something: when the planets align, basically nothing happens. It's the moon is what matters, and that we're like the moon is what matters. Like, what is that? But anyhow, whatever. But it's just kind of neat. Again, one of these things that's just like it's like profound but like silly at the same time. It's like you know, the planets align, basically nothing happens actually, because they're so far away. I think it's one of the line. Yeah. So. Yeah, I don't know. It's just good to revisit. Again, it filled out our set. Marina knew the song. So, yeah. And then when we just played a show, what people listening now, it will be multiple weeks ago. But we started with the song called Knocked Out, which was on this second LP. For our show, and then just played these 9 songs straight through, just like we're listening to right now. So.
It makes a nice the old songs, the new versions of the old songs kind of caught my ear on my first listen of the new self-titled record. The first time was just kind of like, oh, like interesting choice kind of there. That sounds familiar, but as I've listened more and more, they weirdly, maybe almost kind of ironically, they mark a fresh start in a way. And I think that has a lot to do with Marina probably, but to the whole band, and it's both kind of a summing up in a way and wrapping in the history, but it also, I don't know, I really like that they're there, and somehow, I can't explain it, but to my ears they help it feel even fresher.
I feel like it helps put a bow on it, but it's a line.
Yes.
It's a line in the sand that just signifies we've gotten to this point. It's like a selfie 5 years later, you know, or something like that. Like, yeah, we had no idea, but I think you're absolutely right, Howie. You're pretty smart.
How did I get so insightful?
I don't know, but yeah, no, I think I agree. Yeah.
That was I have to explain that comment. That was a reference to a Jeff Tweedy set. I'll look it up while the next song plays, but I have a favorite Jeff Tweedy live set that has just the most incredible stage banter ever. And that's
I'm curious.
That's a Jeff Tweedy line. I'll go find it. You all listen to Holy Mess by Dirty Talker.
So, live, we've been starting, again, just sort of, I'll just kind of do the simple drum beat. Maybe the violin comes in. And we can do that for a while people tune up. But basically, I'm playing the same drum beat as the third song, Department, which is essentially like When the Levee Breaks.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
Totally.
then also, that's the same drum beat that we use in the song on Letters called Dear Foreign Person. I don't know if that's a good name anymore, but we call the song Dowry. But so there's like 3 songs where I could just start going, and they don't know what song to play.
Drummer jokes.
Yep, got them.
So it's Jeff Tweedy live at the University of Chicago, February 25, 2006. You can find bootlegs. It might have gotten an official road case release at some point. I'm happy to zip it up and send it to anybody who wants to contact me via the Mr. Furious Records Bandcamp contact form. If you can't find it, I'll send it to you. Jeff Tweedy's super funny guy.
Definitely funny, smart.
There were some octaves. I heard some vintage octave in there.
Yep. Adam's got some weird pedal. I don't know what brand it is, but like you like connect into your phone, we do some old USB cable, and like you can like download a delay. This is just some basic octave setting.
Oh, this mess we're in. Oh, this mess we're in. Erase it. Erase it. Oh, this mess.
On a technical level, and actually, it was mentioned on the Tucci and V little podcast thing. There's we mixed this recording on like some KRKs in the little speakers in a kind of not great, like a brick little rectangle room. There could be some more bass drum like in this mix if we could go back and spend like just a couple more months on it. But just on a technical, being in a band, you're in a room, you're mixing on certain, speakers. There are holes, and you're listening to reference records sometimes. Like, there's plenty of bass drum there. But again, like the room sound, there's a lot of room to the drums, and that can kind of eat some of that impact. I think about that. I don't worry about it. Like, that's what new recordings are for. Like, right. But, like, it's cool. Again, like, we're all super stoked on it. I love the sound of it. So.
That one was a highlight for me. That was really cool. It just, it was really good.
Thanks.
I'm always speaking of reference or like mixing, I'm always so shocked. Like I'll be listening to a record we're mixing on the same speakers, like at Greg's house over and over and over again. And I think it's sounding pretty good. And then I listen to it in my car or just at home or something, and it sounds completely different. I can't believe how different it sounds.
Right.
Like it's not even the same record. I'm like, oh, somebody made a mistake. But the mix sounds awesome.
Thank you.
I'm pretty thrilled about it.
Doug Van Sloan did the final mastering up in Omaha. So again, also for us indie musicians and mixing folks, it's super important to have just another set of ears and other speakers, another room to just have someone listen to it who isn't also tied up in that one split second edit. Yeah. Like that just so doesn't matter. Just to help just nudge things in the right way or whatever. It's just a part of the process.
Do you find over time, do you forget all those little details that you were obsessing over when you were in the little bit?
No, I would say largely yes. I do not. I forget about them. Like, give yourself a few weeks, a few carbonated waters and beers or what have you, and then, hopefully the vibe was caught. The energy was there. I've learned to not worry so much about it, or I know that I've derailed recordings back in the day because there was a cable jack and then like I listen to some of the old like shellac 7 inches or just other stuff that's and there's still just like some noises, or of course the kick drum squeak on a Zeppelin record or whatever. Like it doesn't matter. Like what matters is like are the goosebumps, and it's not about like pristine production, the Germs gimme record or whatever. It's just like energy and the goosebumps. For me, that's what I want. And then it doesn't, that energy is more important than the audio fidelity, I guess, and technical flawlessness. Yeah.
I've learned the same lessons slowly and painfully, and it's so hard to trust that. It has been. It sounds like it has been for you. It certainly has been for me to trust the goosebumps. And that if you get them, it'll cover up any squeak or noise or whatever was bugging you.
Yeah, when you get 6 months into it, 2 years into it, and you go, is this mix that we just did mix final dot 13? Is this better than the rough mix we left the studio with that we spent 15 minutes on? Did we love it too much? Yeah, it's a tricky lesson.
Real questions, and while you're pondering them, you better work quietly.
Yep.
With Dirty Talker.
Will you please work quietly? There should be just one sound. Shuffling it pointlessly.
Big fan of these chords.
This song is my nemesis. I fuck up the change live like half the time. I coming up into the loud part here in a second. I forget where I am and I can't count it, but
I'm amazed at how many different vibes can be crammed into one song on this. Like, you kind of think okay, this is the dark, cynical song, and then there's kind of like almost a jaunty pre-chorus where I'm like, this is fun. Like, what happened right before this? Like, it was, I don't know, almost like inspirational.
Sycophant City, oh man.
Yeah.
I mean it like in a good way.
I mean it like in a good way.
Right, this part, it's just like...
Oh yeah. It could almost be a Shocker song.
Totally, I love it.
Like I had to try.
God, that part's awesome. That transition's dope. Yeah. Yep, good, super good chord choice. Love it. This is like unlike anything else on the record. This is really cool.
This one, I think, would be the only one we wrote as a 4-piece, kind of. As we were.
So it could almost be a bridge to what's coming next.
Oh yeah, the bass.
Justin's killing it. Got to bring it back.
Yeah.
Please work quietly. There should be just one sound.
Weezer was referenced.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Totally.
Just like, you know,
Absolutely.
maybe
Didn't jump out at me, but yeah, obviously there it is.
Pinkerton era, maybe, or something.
Totally.
Yes.
Totally
Yes.
Pinkerton vibes.
Yeah, we fought about that song a little bit. Like I'm a human being, and when I get excited about a song and a new song, I'll play it really fast, like really fast.
Yeah.
And so I'm already like playing this thing that like Justin's like, I want dun, dun,
Driving kind of.
and I'm like dun, 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 and I'm trying to do that. And then we get to this other thing, and Adam and I wound up having to prove, like, we got a metronome thing, an app out, and like we're like, okay, so this should be this pace, but I was like, but at the end, like I'm like, or like that thing where it's just the tom and like it's kind of the interlude, like that's 20 BPM faster. It goes from like 140 to 160. We don't normally, I don't play to a click. We don't fuck with this, but it's because it was causing band fights, and it was going to be like 20 years ago, and Justin and I were going to, we just kind of had to prove, like, I need to speed up in this section, but it's on me to fall back at the end. And like there are shows that when that song was just brand new that I just ripped right through it, and it loses its impact also for like Justin's part, again, like just with that drive. If I'm just ripping through it and shaving off fractions of a beat because I'm really excited, like, you know, so it's that was I loved ending with that on that record. It was a strong sign of what's to come, and it challenged us and stuff, and so it was cool.
I love those organic tempo changes, like bands that are not playing to a click, like the way the drums and the tempo breathes, almost you don't really even notice it. Like there was like maybe one time on the record where there was a clearly obvious tempo change where it was like whoop, like it was, this is purposeful, I want you to notice this. Right. But otherwise, like the songs kind of like ebb and float tempo wise, but you don't, it's like very, very organic and superhuman, and I love it. It's really cool.
Oh, thank you. Superhuman or
superhuman, more human than human. But no, it's like it's almost like I remember Howie and I we recorded that one record to a click, that first Shack record maybe, or something like that. And I remember we re-recorded it, I think it was that record, because when we recorded it to a click, it just felt super stilted or something like that. And I've done that before too, where I've tried to record something to a click, and it's like, because you're recording to a click, you don't let yourself follow your heart or something like that. With when you get to a certain part, you're like, oh, there should be a longer pause here, just a millisecond, but it needs to be there, or else it sounds synthetic or something. I don't know. Anyway, but like,
no, I agree that micro stuff is really important. And Cory, I don't remember if we talked about this or not, but so Brendan, I've got a big project I've been working on a long time. The drums are programmed, but trying to sound natural. Mm-hmm. And yeah, all those little half beat per minute, 1 beat per minute changes at sections, or you know, you're filling out of something into a quieter part, and so that last bar needs to be a hair longer so the fill can drag into the next, you know, all that stuff is super important. It feels uncanny without it, because
there we go.
The tempo is perfect, but the drums sound natural, and it just, something doesn't compute.
Yeah. Gotta have some.
So yeah.
Something pulling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. Well, listeners, you can pick up Dirty Talker's self-titled album at dirtytalker.bandcamp.com. Link in the description. Or stream it wherever you stream. If you stream, it's there. That's cool too. Cory, anything to plug? This show will be dropping on September 9th. So anything to plug or particular social media platforms you'd like to mention?
Lord, no. Just hope everybody had a good, hydrating Labor Day. Maybe it's starting to be fall by the time you hear this. That would be great. I'm looking forward to it. That's all I got. I don't know. Check the sneaker blogs.
There you go. Brendan, anything to plug or mention?
No, just thanks. Thanks for your time. Thanks for chatting. Thanks for reaching out. This means the world to me. So, we're thrilled. So, thanks.
It's a great record. Please share our congratulations with the band.
I shall.
And listeners, we're going to let you go. If you haven't subscribed on your favorite podcast application or on YouTube or on both, ideally, please do that. If you came here for Dirty Talker, we do stuff like this most every week, have interesting musical conversations and varied adventures with different folks from around the Midwest and the world. So if that sounds good to you, come back for more next week on Dat Fury Radio. Nailed it.
Smash the like, smash it.
Oh, smash the like. I forgot about smashing the likes.
Like the smash.